Hello everyone, welcome back to the YumYum report. This week we popped into Dreamworld to try out the annual dining pass, which is a brand new option that Dreamworld recently launched. For $89 a year, you can get one meal and one snack every single day at Dreamworld, which is a pretty crazy concept. And for someone called Mr. YumYum, I felt it was my personal obligation to give this a try. We purchased our annual dining passes online, and then you go and pick them up at the Main Street Emporium. You do have to show your annual pass, and then they give you a little dining pass for the day, which includes your meal and snack, which you can use at many of the food outlets on pretty much any type of food, except Jane's Rivertown restaurant. The park was incredibly busy, and the queues for food were insane, so we ended up going to the Green Bean Cafe. I went for the chicken and bacon melt and a granola pot, and both were really nice. It was a pretty solid portion size, and what would have usually cost about $20-something with the dining pass was just included. So considering the fact that every time I visit Dreamworld I usually get something to eat, this is going to save a lot of money in the long run, which is fantastic. Although I'm not the biggest fan of theme park food, there are quite a few options at Dreamworld to choose from, so I think the pass is pretty good value if you're not a fussy eater. I would love to see the inclusion of drinks. I would personally prefer a drink over a snack, or maybe the choice to swap one of your options for a drink, because I usually need a coffee or something cold. It was great to see the park really busy. I think the school holidays are just around the corner, so that's probably why it was so packed. What do you think of the annual dining pass? Do you think it's a good option? Will you be purchasing one yourself? And what would you like to see to improve it? In other news, Jungle Rush's maintenance period has been extended once again until the end of July, which will mean that Jungle Rush will have been closed for about 3 months, which is a very long time. And it kind of makes me think that it's a little more than a regular maintenance period. They must be doing some pretty serious work inside, and from the outside it does appear that there's a lot of theming that's sort of been worn down over time, and they're probably repairing this, I think. It's hard to tell because most of the ride is indoors after all. I also believe the theming wasn't 100% complete. There was some stuff that wasn't added due to trying to finish the attraction in time for deadlines, and I think there was a bit of drama between Dreamworld and the theming company Pico Play. So I don't think Jungle Rush is 100% complete yet, so I wonder if this maintenance period will see the addition of some of those features that weren't included in the original ride. What do you think is going on with Jungle Rush? Let me know down below in the comments. On the way out, we also noticed some cool new merchandise in the Main Street Emporium. These awesome little headbands which you can purchase and decorate with cute little character heads. Kenny, Belinda, Kyle the Crocodile, Bella Bilby, Wally, is that his name? I don't know. I think these characters are really cute. I think it's a shame that we haven't really seen them appear outside of merchandise and little displays throughout the park. I'd love to see them appear in some of the shows and have their own costumes and everything. I think that would definitely drive the merchandise sales. And I also think they should sell these headbands throughout the park a lot more, because a lot of people won't be visiting the Main Street Emporium until the end of their day. The cool thing about these headbands is they're sort of like a walking advertisement. If somebody sees another guest wearing a headband, they'll wonder, oh, where did they get that? And they'll probably want to buy one themselves. It's what Disney does really well. They sell the headbands like crazy. They sell them everywhere throughout the park. I think they should have little stalls and things around in the walkways, because a lot of guests don't even look inside the shops. They've already sort of feel like they've spent their money by getting into the park. So I definitely think they could improve the amount of merchandise they sell. And I think a lot more of the staff should wear some of the merchandise too, like headbands and hats and things. Are you a fan of the new merchandise? And are there any other merch ideas you would like to see at Dreamworld? If you could choose one dream piece of merchandise, what would it be? Mine would probably have to be some more themed clothing that's not tacky. I'd love some t-shirts or hats and things that have more of an overt presence of the ride itself on them, such as Jungle Rush. I'd really love a t-shirt that had like the Jungle Rush temple on it that wasn't tacky. I don't know how to explain it. I have a really particular taste when it comes to graphic t-shirts, and I'm not a huge fan of the way that a lot of the parks here in Australia create their merchandise. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the YumYum Report. Feel free to leave a like, a friendly comment, or subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. And before we finish, I'd like to give a very special thank you to the members and sponsors of Team YumYum for supporting my content. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.